Welcome to World News by Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, fact-based reporting on the human and strategic costs of war, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Today, we bring you a troubling update from Ukraine's front lines and home front, a Russian strike on power infrastructure in Dnipro and its impact as temperatures plummet across the country. In the early hours of the morning, Russia launched a missile attack targeting power generation and distribution facilities near Dnipro, a major city in central Ukraine. The impact was swift and severe. Key substations and transmission lines were damaged, cutting electricity to thousands of homes and critical services. Ukrainian officials confirmed the strike and described it as part of a sustained campaign to degrade the country's energy systems. Power outages have hit households, hospitals, schools, and factories, and have come at a time when winter temperatures are well below freezing in many regions. Residents reported plunging temperatures indoors as heating systems failed, forcing families to improvise with generators, blankets, and shared shelters. Hospitals scrambled to switch to backup systems while treating patients with cold-related illnesses and managing routine care. Local authorities issued alerts urging residents to conserve power where possible and to avoid unnecessary travel due to fallen temperatures and reduced visibility from smoke or dust. Emergency workers have been mobilized to assess damage, clear debris, and restore essential services. This was not an isolated incident. Over the past year, Russia has repeatedly targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure with missiles and drones. The aim appears to be dual: to strain Ukraine's wartime resilience and to sap civilian morale as the conflict drags on into another winter. The attack on Dnipro's power grid must be understood in the wider context of Russia's war strategy. First, infrastructure as a target. Modern warfare increasingly sees energy systems as strategic targets. Destroying power infrastructure disrupts more than lights. It affects water supply, communication networks, heating, transport logistics, and medical care. In winter, these consequences become starkly visible, especially for vulnerable populations: the elderly, children, people with health conditions, and those living in remote areas. Ukraine has invested heavily in hardening its energy networks, setting up redundancies, and stockpiling spare parts. Yet repeated Russian strikes exploit remaining vulnerabilities, forcing expensive and time-consuming repairs while diverting resources from other defense needs. Second, a test of resilience. Despite the damage, Ukrainian authorities emphasize that emergency response teams are working around the clock to restore power. Soldiers, technicians, and volunteers coordinate rotation of generators and repair teams, often risking their safety under continued threat. This resilience, both institutional and civilian, has been a defining feature of Ukraine's resistance throughout the war. Third, psychological and humanitarian toll. For ordinary Ukrainians, power outages in freezing conditions are more than an inconvenience. They are a clear reminder of the human cost of war. Families share stories of children bundled in blankets, neighbors checking on one another, and communities opening public buildings as temporary warm shelters. Aid organizations are stepping up efforts to distribute warm clothes, food supplies, and medicines. The attacks also draw international concern. Governments providing support to Ukraine note that targeting civilian infrastructure breaches protections enshrined in international humanitarian law. Condemnations are coming from both allies and independent observers, with renewed calls for ceasefires that protect civilians and allow reconstruction. Fourth, longer-term implications. Repeated strikes on power grids raise questions about the sustainability of reconstruction and economic stability in wartime conditions. Investors and international partners must weigh the risks of future attacks even as they plan for energy sector upgrades and long-term recovery. At the same time, these challenges deepen the resolve of many Ukrainians. Daily hardship underlines why security guarantees, robust defense systems, and international solidarity remain central to Kyiv's strategy, not just for military survival, but for preserving civic life and dignity. Thank you for watching this report on World News by Halandzovskyi. If you found this explanation clear and informative, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Independent reporting helps us understand how conflicts affect real lives and why resilience matters. Stay informed and see you in the next update.